It's the stats show.
It's the stats show.
With Ben and Trax.
Hey.
What do you want to talk about this week?
Stirling
it is.
Stirling sounds like what I would like to talk about Stirling today.
We're going to pick your brain about October 2022 stats in Stirling. We're going to start with best number, average sale price.
Average sale price in Stirling. Whew.
You've been doing a decent amount out in Stirling lately, actually.
Stirling has been a really tough market because it's gone down. I think the most out of all of the areas.
It's just that arm's length away from Belleville, right?
Yeah,
and off the 401.
It had a lot of inventory. So the average sale price there, I think it's gonna be like 506 or something like that.
422.
422.
Your face was like 422. Last month though, so we'll see the inventory.
Well, what was it last year?
We'll check the inventory. So last month was 42. Last year was 825.
825. So again, this one's a really tough one because, you know, what's the sample size,
That's
right?
it,
It's
so.
like, I think last year there was probably like 7 sales, and if like 2 of them were a couple $1 million farms or a couple $1 million mansions, that's going to skew the numbers to make it like, oh, it's worth 806 in.
Makes a big difference.
Right?
Let's see how many. This one here. So let's jump right to that active listings then, and then we'll do number of sold so you can compare that data right now. So October 2022 active listings in Stirling.
Active listings. Oh no, wait, probably like 15.
38.
38.
Way more.
That's
than I thought.
huge.
But there are pockets of builders building. So I just went and showed 4 new towns out there. So there's a bunch of newer houses, subdivisions in the area.
Yeah. And what was it last year?
So last year was 40. Last year was 9. Makes sense for 825.
Right?
Is the average sale price?
9 and 7 sold or something like that.
Yeah. So it makes a big difference.
Yeah. So it's really hard to like quantify that, like when the sample size is so small.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it looks better on a graph of the year, so you can see the up and downs, and then use that 12-month average as a much better honing in point to see where we're at. Number of sales, October 2022.
10.
7.
7. 7.
Last month 7. Last year 5. Months of inventory.
Months of inventory? I'm gonna say 5 or 6. 5.
5.4.
5.4.
Bingo. Last month 7. Okay.
That's 7 months of inventory. So that's like deep buyer's market, right? Like it is.
And I wonder if we're gonna see that kind of bounce back and forth, where you get 7 months of inventory, and then all of a sudden prices are good, so people buy them up, and then all of a sudden
because 10 people came to Stirling to buy houses instead of 5. Right? Like that's where the sample size is going to skew this so much, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
Last year 1.8. Average days.
Wait, go back. Last year 1.8.
1.8.
So it went from deep seller's market, right, to like a deep buyer's market.
Yep.
In the year, right? So like pretty much what that's saying is like the buyers just dropped off. They couldn't find things in Trenton and Belleville and the bigger cities, so then they started looking a little bit north, and that's where they're like, okay, well, let's go up here. Which gave us more buyers, which made Stirling shoot up because Stirling was so much cheaper than the other areas.
Really, really good point. Is last year when you had a buyer at 400 to 350, it was really difficult to compete with the investors last year. So I would usher clients to go to Stirling, Madoc, much more affordable places. And I thought that a lot of Belleville's working class would have to migrate that way just to have affordable housing again, which makes a lot of sense, what you were touching on there too.
Yeah.
Average days on market.
Average days on market. I'm gonna say like 45.
27.
27.
Seems to be the same across the board, but 30 days on market. And
In all.
yeah.
All okay.
Yeah, in about all spots, it's about the same. I was saying, just talking to Manny about it though, that I'm finding a big difference. So you have that 27 days on market is filled with a couple spots that sold in a day or 2 or 3 days, and a couple spots that have been on for 65 days because they're just stale listings.
Yeah.
So it's not really a uniform 30 days for everybody.
No, exactly. Well, that's with most areas when you're talking days on market. Is sometimes you'll have one that's just like the neighboring house that's on the market, and you're just like, yep. So if we're going to be around them, we're going to price it. You're pricing it close to them, and then we sell in a day. And
Right.
The neighbor's been up for 60, and then we get a phone call. Hey, how'd you do that?
Exactly.
So, but,
Right on.
Yeah, it's hard to predict.
You know, Trav, that's just all the questions I could think of to ask.
Really?
At this
All of
point.
them?
That's it. So I'll have to find some more for next time.
Oh, it sounds great.
See you, buddy.
See you later.